What's up, guys? It's Kwaku from SeekTheGreatness.com, the channel that's all about applied self-investment. Today, we're looking at this ad. It's the famous "Do you make these mistakes in English?" So this is famous headline that we're breaking down today for our copywriting challenge. So we're behind, so we're gonna do two challenges today. So you'll get day 9 and day 10. That's what I'm gonna try and do today. All right. But before we do, please make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks group and the Black Copywriter Coalition. I'll put the links in the description and the rest of the other resources that you need. So you can get the swipe file, a link to the copy that I wrote for the day. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the 4 U's: urgent, useful, unique, ultra specific. So is the headline, do you make these mistakes in English? Let's see how useful. This is an urgent headline because if you speak English, then this is urgent to you because people are highly concerned about their English and how well they speak it. So this is something that can be important to you. Then is the headline useful? I say yes. If you do make these mistakes, right? If you find out that you do make these mistakes that the copywriter is talking about, then you want to know how you can fix them. So again, very, very strong headline so far. Unique. I don't think the headline is unique. I don't think the question is unique. I mean, it's a very, very psychological question. It's very, very direct, but I don't think it's unique because it's just asking about a problem per se. That's my opinion. Is it ultra specific? Again, it's specific to people who speak English or, people who are concerned about their mistakes. People are who know that they don't speak English that well. So rule of 1 is, meaning are the headline and subhead strongly related. So this has a focal point because after the headline, it goes on to say, Sharon Cody's remarkable invention has enabled more than 100,000 people to correct their mistakes. So a strong focal point right there. And then the one sentence summary, you could put that in the headline. Like, do you make these mistakes in English? The big idea is, are you as intelligent or are you a good communicator as you say you are, So that's the whole one sentence summary. Do you make these mistakes in English? Awareness. Is the approach of the copy direct or indirect? I'd say it's direct because it's direct in the sense that readers are very aware of their English mistakes and may want to improve their communication skills. So this is something that they were looking forward to. Or it can also be indirect because there are people who are not aware of these problems until the ad brought it up. So I think it goes both ways. What lead is being used? So this is a problem solution lead because you can see right here, it's asking the question, do you make these mistakes in English, right? And then this is the subhead that shows his credibility. But then once the ad starts with the lead, he's already going into the problems. He's already going to the problems. Many people use such expressions as leave them lay there and Mary was invited as well as myself. So he's showing these type of common mistakes that people make that they don't know, like these misconceptions about English. Moving on. So it's a problem solution lead. So let's move on. PAS, problem agitate solution. Problem is the problem that your product service solves easily identified. Yeah. So as I said, the ad identifies the problem immediately, right? It goes on to many persons use such expressions as leave them lay there and Mary was invited as well as myself. Still, others say between you and I instead of between you and me. So this is the problem that he's talking about. And then he goes on to agitate this problem in the copy. He talks about how schools are even teaching us the wrong thing about English. So think about that. The place where you take your kids to learn, to get an education, they're being taught some backwards concepts about English. So, in the example, he says, yet our schools, by wrong methods, have made it a study to be avoided, the hardest of tasks, instead of the most fascinating of games. For years, it has been a crying disgrace. So, what is the solution for this? He talks about how he presents the 100% self-correcting device. The 100% self-correcting device does exactly this thing. It is Mr. Cody's silent voice behind you, ready to speak out whenever you commit an error. It finds your mistakes and concentrates on them. You do not, what's it supposed to say? You do not. You do not need to study anything you already know. There are no rules to memorize. So that's the solution. It's showing you I have a self-correcting device. You don't need to like study or waste any time studying. It's just this thing that will prompt you every time. So let's move on to another checklist. Does your headline grab the reader by the eyeballs? Does it speak directly to you and anyone that's does your headline speak directly to your target prospect? Yes, it does grab attention because it speaks directly to anyone who speaks English. You know, so once you see that headline, it also strokes your ego. You want to know if you made these mistakes or not. Does it stoke curiosity? Yes, you immediately want to know if you make these mistakes and how you can fix them. Is there a big promise? Yes, for just 15 minutes a day, you can fix your English mistakes. So does the lead expand on the headline? Yeah, it goes on to point out the mistakes that people make. So you remember in the beginning, he was like, these are all the mistakes that people say. People say between you and I instead of between you and me. Like it's a whole clusterfuck. That's the whole angle from his copy. Does the opening reinforce the promised benefit? Yes. So when he talks about when the study of English is made so simple, it becomes clear that progress can be made in a very short time. Does the opening continue to arouse curiosity in the reader? Yeah. So the second headline, or one of the first, this headline, why most people make mistakes. That's another open loop because it makes you like, yeah, why do they make these mistakes? What are these mistakes that they're making? So that does a good job of that, creating curiosity. Does the copy establish credibility? Yeah, the writer provides statistics that support his claims. For instance, statistics show that a list of 69 words with their repetitions make up more than half of all our speech and letter writing. Obviously, if one could learn to spell, use, and pronounce those words correctly, one would go far toward eliminating incorrect spelling and pronunciation. So, he's already provided some proof or done his research about how we can master English because of these 69 words that we need to master and learn how to spell. So, what does the copy do to improve to the reader that you are a credible person of authority who should be paid attention to? So the person who was writing this ad has shown how Sharon Cody, the creator of the solution, the creator of the 100 of the device, is an expert in his field. She's shown us how Mr. Cody was invited to the author of famous Gary system of education to teach English to all upper grade pupils in Gary, Indiana. So he did this by a unique practice, where by unique practice exercises. So Mr. Cody secured more improvement in these pupils in 5 weeks than previously had been obtained by similar pupils in 2 years under old methods. So uh, that piece of copy is shown to say like Mr. Cody has already taught pupils in 5 weeks than what someone took 2 years to teach. So again, that's one aspect of his credibility and that he knows what he's talking about. Also, there's so many examples of credibility here. Sharon Cody's remarkable invention has enabled more than 100,000 people to correct their mistakes in English. Only 15 minutes a day required to improve your speech and writing. Uh, and then he shows all these stats where you only need to master 69 words and all that stuff. So lots of credibility and proof in that copy. Does the copy offer a bribe? Um, is there a bribe in place to convince the reader that they must move on? Yeah, it starts with the headline. It starts with the open loop, why people make their mistakes. So, and then he asks another question: what is the reason so many of us are deficient in use of English and find our careers stunted in consequence? So again, he's asking that question. The 8 useful components to look for up front is the offer promising you, improve your English in just 15 minutes a day. Is it unique? Yeah, it has a unique offer, which is also improve your English in just 15 minutes a day. Is the offer promise safe to invest in? Yes, because you learn that the product is free. After all this value that he's creating for you, he tells you that the product is free. Um, is the offer promise easy to use, implement? Yeah, it's free. It's a free offer with a free order device. A lot of people have done this, like providing a lot of value for free, and then host and this is how Mr. Cody made his money. He made his money because people were inviting him to conferences, speeches, and stuff like that. So he was basically using his book, this ad, as a lead magnet. Is the offer promise simple to use, implement? Yes. Simple, straight offer at the end. It's free. So, is the offer promise fast to deliver results? Yes. Order your free book and learn English in 15 minutes. Is the offer promise providing results that are predictable? Yes. Improve your English mistakes in 15 minutes. Same thing. Is the offer promise providing something big? Yes. You improve your English in 15 minutes. So let's look at the last bit of the section to qualify this, to break down this ad. Does the copy provide proof for every promising claim made? Yeah. So the copy shows the typical mistakes people make. He provides credibility by how he was invited by ministers, educators, teachers to like teach their students. He's helped 100,000 people. He's shown proof that you only need 69 words to master, um, and all that stuff, and that it just takes you 15 minutes a day. Does the copy use picture words to provide a snapshot of the reader in the future benefiting from having bought and used your product or service? Yes. So he goes on to say, those who take advantage of his method gain something so priceless that it cannot be measured in terms of money. They gain a mark of breeding that cannot be erased as long as they live. So the idea of the picture, once you master English, you'll be of a different cloth. You'll be of a man of higher education, higher intelligence. You'll be you'll be seen as an expert in your field because you communicate so clearly. So that is the picture that he's trying to create, that you'll be cut from a different cloth. You're a different breed of communicator. Can you identify exactly when the offer is being made? So it says here, if you are interested in learning more in detail of what Sharon Cody can do for you, send for the book, How You Can Master Good English in 15 Minutes a Day. Does the copy reduce risk to the reader? Yes, it does. It's completely free. They can either take it or leave it, or send for it or not. Is the call to action asking for the sale clear and concise? Yes. If you're interested in learning more in detail of what Sharon Cody can do for you, send for the book, and send for the book How You Can Master Good English in 15 Minutes a Day. Does the copy summarize the offer towards the end? I mean, it's already kind of summarized towards the end. It doesn't really need to, because it made the offer, and it was kind of just leading people to the offer. So again, this provided a lot of value. This provide and so the big takeaways for this ad, it was the headline was just an open loop, because once you read it, do you make these mistakes in English? Then you're like, wait, do I make these mistakes in English? I need to know. So you want to go on, and then it shows its credibility. Sharon Cody's remarkable invention has enabled more than 100,000 people to correct their mistakes in English. Boom. 100,000 people, that's a lot. That shows your credibility, that you know what you're talking about. And the fact that, people have invited him to teach their students to and all that in their schools, because the schools are not doing a great job of teaching English. And that he has a self-correcting device that can teach you in just 15 minutes a day. and he's shown that he did his research, and he's shown that you only need 69 words. You only need to master these like 69 words. You need to know how to spell them correctly, how to pronounce them, and you'll be seen as an expert in your field. So this is why this ad was very, very successful. And on top of that, it's free. So yeah, you can't beat that. Lots of value, lots of good information for free. And yeah, that was the breakdown for Do You Make These Mistakes in English? If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, I'll put all the links and other resources in the description. But yeah, just to remind you, make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks group. And if you're Black, join the Black Copywriter Coalition. I'll put all those links in the description. This is Kwaku. I love you all. And remember to see the greatness within you. Peace.